What is up guys, Wraec here with a new video, and today with an update to my Ravaged run for Graveborn, because of course we have a new hero, so it would be a waste not to try her out. Bonnie, Supreme plus 10 right now. We got her the full charm set right here, the sorcery set, ultimate power and skill power generally works quite well for her. Also upgraded that just because I saw that she works actually quite well on my first attempts. We'll see that in a second. And the team I'm going to show you guys today was actually sent to me by Arsimon, and he managed to get 118 billion with that. So definitely quite the madness. And I have to say, I got place 1 on my server, 116 billion with this team, while definitely not having the highest Paragon level out of the bunch of people that were hitting there. Got Dart, who's definitely higher at 112, Zanz at 108, we're 116 right now. So definitely, I think this team is doing quite well. Let's check out the attempts. I got my very last hit that I did was actually the one that brought me to place 1. We got 114 billion before, and this is the formation that we're using. We got 10.9 billion on the Bonnie, and that already is quite a madness, because let's compare that to my last attempt in the last season of Immortal Squad, where we still used the Viparian. Scroll a little bit down there, give me a second. And there we go, 114 billion, that was my best one last time. And we got 8 billion on the Viparian that she's replacing. Also improved the charms of my Scalita, so we got a massive damage increase there as well, which we're going to check out in a second. So let's take a shortcut up there. 116 billion hit. How does that look? Well, formation wise, we are looking at this team, so we don't even use Bonnie on the tower. We put Scalita there, of course Talene buffing her attack through Ludovic and having Thorin as a tank with frontline spell over here, and second team remains unchanged, focusing on Carolina. So let's take a look at that replay. Let's take a look at Bonnie over there. Of course we apply her aging, though I didn't never see it really debuff the tentacles. It seems to be on the boss, but the boss stats are a little bit hidden behind this number 2 there. Bit unfortunate placement of this life that they made there. Should have been maybe a little bit to the side. We have a lot of room over here, so we could see the buffs. We see an attack debuff though if we kind of take a look between the 1 and 2, so I reckon it probably works there. Yeah, remains to be seen though, it's a little bit hard to notice. She's doing some awesome damage though, it's moving over the board quite a lot, and is doing a lot more damage than my Viparian did at least. My Viparian and her are pretty similar in terms of upgrades. My Viparian has a little bit lower stats on the X weapon. Him being at +5, her being at +10 is of course a little bit of a difference, but shouldn't result in like a 3 billion difference in damage. That I think we can attribute to her just performing a little better in that game mode than Viparian. So I think this is really the better team for the moment right now. And I also want to take a look at with you guys at like a little bit higher version of this team, because well, we can showcase Arsimon's attempt because he sent it to me. This was a 118 billion attempt, and we can get to see Bonnie at P2 in this, which I think is pretty cool. My Scalita somehow managed to outperform in this, which I'm not exactly sure why that is the case, but I guess I focused a bunch of resources on her. Maybe she got a little bit lucky crit RNG, but maybe it's also a sign that he could get a little bit more damage out of this overall with a few more attempts. I'm not sure if he has any, but maybe that is even more potential on this team, going for maybe 119 billion, which would be absolutely insane. But the good thing on Graveborn is we're really no threat of losing any hero, because Ludovic is just doing an awesome job at keeping everybody alive. We have for the start the shields from Scalita, a bunch of true damage there from her as well, which in general works really well against the second tentacles that get spawned, because those seem to take a lot more damage from true damage, as I noticed. Having a good true damage dealer there is quite nice, which I kind of regret that we don't have Valka yet, the new hero coming up in the next season, because she also seems to be able to do true damage, and that could of course be great for such a hero. So very nice attempt here from Arsimon, very great team overall. But we have some more teams I want to showcase, or I want to show to you guys, because we have a new graphic by Metal, and that is right over here. Keep in mind, this one was upgraded on the 5th of January, so before we had the Graveborn Ravaged run. Thus, he just put Bonnie in there as a replacement for either one of those three heroes, for either Skeleta, Salazar, or Viperian. The performance of Bonnie at that point was still unknown. I reckon that we would now put Bonnie here and see the other ones as replacement, because in my opinion, well, she, at least on my account, she did a fair bit better. So might be some form of change there. If you have Bonnie, definitely try to replace Viperian in those teams with her. The one team we saw from Asimon, and then we have other teams here as well. This one focusing on Ludovic, buffing Talene, which is the same mechanic we saw before. Nero in there, which I'm not a big friend of, still don't get this team 27. Somehow deals damage. Seems like black magic to me, if I'm honest. So this one, I saw some really great results with the team 76. So this would be something that I would also advertise or recommend using. And then we have this Team 71 here with Salazar. Interestingly enough, not a hero that deals super bad damage. It gets a little bit overlooked because if you have the selection between Lily May and him, you obviously take Lily May. This time though, we don't have that choice, so he's a little bit more in the focus. And if you have an upgraded Salazar, might be because, well, A-tier Graveborn, not too much selection there. You might have accidentally upgraded him along the road. It's worth trying him out. So Team 42 here as well, using Salazar. A few options down below. And then for the second team, well, second team on this one is this is Cecia, it's Carolina, and it's oh, I forgot his name. Hogan? I'm not sure. And either then you can use Thorin, you can put Nero in there, all work. The reason we use him is because he's super tanky actually, so that really helps the other guys surviving and makes this all a little bit easier. So then we also have the Charm Guide. And there we go, Charm Guide made by Daragon from the Analytica Discord. He also included Bonnie in here already, and this is the version with all the other factions in there as well. I will link you that down in the description. Theory only untested. I went with the Sorcery Charm. That did the best for me for the moment. Maybe we'll see some other results with other charms later, but for now, Sorcery Charm did really well for me. Definitely recommend using that one. We can also take a look at my charms in game. And if you've never seen that before, there is this cute little function hidden over in the top right there, Overview. Once we click that, we can actually go and select our hero list. It's loading a little bit. If we go on Graveborn, then you can quickly see all the charms that I have set on my Graveborn teams and whether they are upgraded or not. And then, of course, we also have Skeleta and Talene in this one, so I also definitely show you guys my Celestial heroes, both of which upgraded by now. I definitely made use of those materials that I got. I think for now we are pretty set on most of the charms, maybe not on the Bonnie charms. It was a little bit of a risk to go ahead and upgrade her, but I guess for the fanciness. But for the rest of the heroes, there is no longer that much of a charm discussion going on. So I guess if you found a charm that works and maybe took one from the guides, it is safe to say that you can upgrade one of those. So that being said, I hope you have great results with Bonnie. Seems to be definitely worth using, but Viperian's still a great choice, so it should still secure you a great place if you have him. And other than that, I hope you have a great day, and we'll see us in the next one.